The temperature's right. We've taken the top off of the San Pedro forest, and I'm ready to show you around our nice garden. So come with us along on this adventure, and we're gonna show you just how many San Pedro we have and how crazy we really are. It's gonna be great. All right, now which one is better to start than the Nuestra Bonita? This is actually the start of our cactus journey, this cactus right here. It was just originally this arm, and that is all. And he's gotten humongous by this point. And I actually learned with him how to identify with these V notches right above the spines. That's how I started to tell which ones were real. And this guy just started my whole cactus journey. You can see how nice and thick it is with the Coke can as a size reference, and I couldn't be prouder to put this guy in the spot. He was the first one I put into the ground, and he's absolutely gotten massive. Look at him in that cloudy background. Beautiful. Now, since we started with the first cactus we got, might as well start with the first seedling batch I've ever got. These are from Ecuador. The fruit is from Ecuador, wild Pachanoi. That's why it says Landrace on it. Born in 2019. And this guy is fully bushed on out. I actually took a cutting from him and sold him to somebody, but I'll have to show you a picture after this. Look at how blue that got. That is just incredible. But he came from just a little seed that was no more than 3 inches, and he's got to have at least 10 feet of growth by now. So that one is my first seed batch in Ecuador Landrace. Gotta love it. Speaking of first, this was our first mother plant that we ever got. This guy's got to be over 25 feet by now. He's almost about to outgrow my oleander. He's been getting hit hard by the storms lately, so we had to tie him up, but he should be good to go. Look at that nice blue growth. This is a Peruvian from Succeed 2983. Try to remember to keep the labels on your guys' cactus. Once you get to this point where there's just masses and masses of them, you're gonna be thankful that you had the labels. But yeah, this guy's got a very special place in my heart. My first Peruvian, and it's my first mother plant, and boy howdy is it big now in the ground. Now, some of my favorites to collect are these crusteds. They make this nice cool brain growth. This one is probably my biggest one. It is absolutely humongous for a crest, but this is a very, very rare mutation. You'll see the crusteds and monstruses sold kind of a lot as a collector's cut. A lot of people that collect these cactus love getting a monstruse or a crested. And then here's what the monstrusing looks like in Pachanois. Very, very, very nice, trippy looking. It's definitely way different than the crested, but both of them are highly sought after for collectors. And there's a Bridgesii one that is monstrous. But you can see even Bridgesiis, Pachanois, and Peruvians, they could all have this. It's just a very rare mutation that makes them look really cool. Now here's a trait you will mostly see with Bridgesiis, but it's very rare. It's called the 4 winds, where they have just 4 ribs here. You can see a normal one has at least 5 usually, but we got 4 right here. Another tall tell sign of Bridgesii are these V's, but also the color on these spines. You see how they're golden like that. That's why they call them Bolivian torches, because if you step away, it kind of looks like someone's just holding a torch right there with the new growth. On the bottom, the old spines will turn white, and they kind of do this cool starfish pattern almost. A lot of Bridgesiis do that. This is one of my favorite types of San Pedro. There's 3 main ones. There's Pachanoi, Peruvian Torch, and Bridgesii. I love the Bridgesii for many different reasons. Amongst all is when you can get that nice 4 wind symmetry. It is fucking amazing. The Tucson Fats, aka El Chapos. I bought these from a nursery. They had a bunch of PC cactus. It was just this main stalk, this main arm right there. And I bought them from a nursery. They were titled El Chapos with a bunch of PCs next to them. I bought all of these ones. They're Scopulicolas, which are true San Pedros, very, very highly sought after. And the owner of the cactus place saw me load these guys up and went, damn, you know how to pick out cactus. And boy, is this one a good choice. One thing I love about the Scopulicolas, they're all very, very reliably the same potency, just like Bridgesii, except look at these thorns. These thorns are extremely small. You're not even gonna hurt yourself. You could really just palm the whole cactus and it does not really hurt at all. You can't do that with Bridgesiis at all, I'm telling you. That is without a doubt. They also do get nice and blue, but I will say the Bridgesiis probably look a little bit prettier, but these guys are a lot easier to work with and they are just as pretty as ever. Hell yeah. One of my favorites, El Chapo, aka Tucson Fat. All right, let's go over what a graft is. Usually you take a little cactus like this and you just snip him in half like that. And then you glue him onto another cactus like this one that would maybe be bigger and have a bigger rootstock than this little one would have. And it'll start pushing off big growth. Here's a little one attached to a big one rootstock. And here's the big growth. So as you can see, I started that one with a smaller cutting than the graft that you just saw. This is 1 season's worth of growth. It is impressive and it does a lot. We're gonna go through some of my favorite grafts that we've ever done and ones that we got off of grafts and onto their own roots. This guy is still on a PC, but he's gonna go on his own roots at the end of this season. We got Macrogonus times a lumberjack. Lumberjack is a Bridgesii, and Macrogonus is a very thick San Pedro. So Bridgesiis usually are thinner, so we get this one to be nice and thick, and hopefully it'll have the same potency as Bridgesii, but absolutely stunning. It's thick, and it's got the same blueness as the Bridgesii. The spines make that nice color. This one's one of my favorites, and he is on his own roots now. He's only 2 years old, and he's about 3.5 feet with his own roots. Absolutely killing it, all because of grafting. Right here I have a large El Chapo mother plant, a Tucson Fat, and I've grafted a chemical shaman stick onto that. Now CSD, as it's commonly referred to, is one of the most expensive cuts. So you can see this is a stunning one, absolutely incredible. And I just started this with 1 inch, a 1 inch cutting that I put on here. I should honestly take the second arm off because this is Tucson Fat, and all of this growth could have been the CSD right there, but I kind of do like Tucson Fat. He also grew this whole pup this season, this big thick one on the side. So if I was cutting those, I would have gotten a lot more growth, but it's all good. He's about ready for his own roots already. We would be here all day if I showed you all of my grafts, but this is the other very notable one. This is a Bruce's Dragon with coming out on 10 arms now. You can definitely tell which one's the Bruce's Dragon because it's all nice and smooth like that instead of normal cactus. But oh man, this dude is 9 arms, and he is grafted onto a TPQC on the bottom. But look at that. This is what happens when you start grafting cactus. They start absolutely shooting off. I like to call this one my magic antlers, because that dude looks like reindeer antlers. All right, jump on over to another one in the ground. This is a San Pedro called, I think it's called Hascuensis. I think that's how you pronounce it, but an extremely rare one. Thankfully, this dude had just soaked up some water, but he was looking pretty rough for a while there. Got some nice V notches. And this is my biggest, it's like a nice little mother plant of Hascuensis. Doing very nice, love that one. And right over here is the variegated. As you can see, he's extremely yellow. He's got to be about 3.5 feet by now, just straight variegation. Glad that I put this one in the ground as well. Looks like a freaking banana. Call him the magic banana. Let's look at another. For the final one, this guy looks very nice and unassuming, right? This is about a 4 foot long Ogun. And now the Ogun, I only say this because if you got dogs, man, be careful planting them because they're about peyote potency. And that peyote potency is a lot of cactus. You do not want a dog to get to one of these. They will probably trip, and we do not want that. But damn, I'm about to put this dude in the ground on his own roots, and boy, am I excited to get one of these in the ground and growing. Like I say, he's about 3 feet tall right now, maybe 3.5. Definitely my biggest one, and yeah, that's Pac Ogun. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna end it there. We've showed off a lot of cool cactus. We finally just opened up the second tent. This is my favorite time of the year when I just get to look at them all. I'm glad I got to share some of them with you guys. Please let me know if you had any that are like your favorite or you want me to expand in detail, or even if you see one that I didn't talk about but you were maybe curious about. Love to cover all of it, and thank you guys so much for paying attention to us, and we're gonna keep on growing. Stay with us. Much love.